It's winter time at Warwick University, which is a perfect time to view the pine trees. They're accentuated by the bareness of the other trees. Now, you can tell it's a pine tree because if you pull out a needle here, it comes off in a pair. So it comes off in a pair with a little sheet, and this is a classic. I mean, you couldn't really mistake this for anything but a pine because just the length of these needles. Anyway, that's a common tree. Common ivy is an unmistakable winter perennial plant. One thing you might not know about ivy, there's its fruits, is that the leaves completely change. So this is an ivy leaf, and this is an ivy leaf, and that's the same species, but the leaves completely change when they start growing fruits and flowers and get higher in the trees. So yeah, you get these sort of everything from that to the unmistakable plant ground leaves, which is strange, but it's quite interesting. One thing you do get to see in winter is the trunk of the trees, the bark. This is an ash tree. It's really nice, smooth bark. You can tell it's an ash tree from the keys. These are cedar trees. They have they're very nice texture. You can tell they're cedar from the clumps of needles that you see. But yeah, they're quite nice trees. Obviously related to pines in the pine family. This tree might look like a magnolia or a laurel or something, but it's actually an oak tree. You can't really tell from the leaves or anything. The only real way you can tell it's an oak tree is by the fact that it bears acorns. But yeah, it's an interesting specimen. And here's a cypress tree. You can tell cypresses by the scales. They're scaly leaves, and that's the seeds. There you are. Big dark green shiny perennial leaves, and this branching structure is typical of laurel. Laurel is in the basal angiosperms, so it's not in the eudicots or the monocots. It's further back in history than typical plants. So there you are. These turquoise perennials from the pine family are cedars. So you can tell again that they're cedars from the clumps of needles. Near the entrance of Arthur Vick and Jack Martin, there's a huge eucalyptus tree. There's actually quite a few eucalyptuses around here. As you can tell, I'm quite a fan, but they do green things up in winter, and they're different from pine trees, which there are plenty of. Beginning of spring now, so there aren't very many leaves, but you do get cherry blossoms. That parasite right there is mistletoe. Mistletoe is found on things like rowan. I think this is a rowan. But yeah, obviously you can see mistletoe in the winter. There's quite a lot of mistletoe around here. Rather romantic. This titan of a tree has red bark, so I'm guessing it's a redwood. You can see the scales. These are the female cones. There you are. Anyway, it's a mighty tree. These really long catkins are typical of Garrya. Garrya elliptica, I think this is. It's pretty tough leathery leaves and yeah, long catkins. There's a spruce tree. Notice these clumps of mistletoe up there, by the way, on the I think it's a lime tree. But yeah, this is a spruce. So close up, it's really spiky, and the needles are in a spiral pattern, which is why you can tell it's a spruce. This is a hazel tree where hazelnuts come from, and you can just tell by the catkins and the fact that it doesn't have the female catkins that alder has. But yeah, you can see this as a dense, densely packed with catkins.